So hello everyone, this is Wednesday, July 13, 2022 and this is the Hindu Delhi edition. So as usual, we'll be first identifying the most important news followed by a detailed analysis of the same. So let's move forward directly. The answer to yesterday question will be given tomorrow, right? Okay. So we have nothing here. Okay, now this is a brief history of time. This is a very interesting picture. Okay, uh, what else I can say about this? Okay, okay, CCY. Okay, fine, because he has been ousted from the party. So nothing on first page much. Let's see on the third page now. What is this? Slash GST on single use plastic alternative. Yes, this should be there. So after Assam flood, we have this Godavari flood, right? So monsoon season has come. It brings rain to India, and together with rain, it brings a lot of floods in India. Why? Because our disaster management is not up to the mark. Live with peace. Okay. New judicial device for complete justice. India top court cannot be seen helpless with faced with issue of individual liberty. Okay. So I think Muhammad Jubair thing, na? Yet again, I don't see this is very important with respect to the examination. You read it if you want. I don't. I am not interested in reading the masala news and the masala these articles. Rightful challenge. Okay, we'll see this because Twitter has come against this government regarding the free speech, right? So we'll see this one. Create more jobs, revamp employment policy. Okay, we'll see this employment related. Djokovic has won, not required for examination. Finances is inadequate. Yes, it has always been. Okay. Constraint in tax base expansion, weakening of institutional mechanism. So just know this thing. Fine. If you want, you can read. Current office, unlike scriptures, allow criticism on itself. Okay. Show the wheel of justice, graphically speaking. Yes, more than 4 crore cases are pending. True. Mediation bill not getting the act together. We'll see the gist. Okay. Okay. Starts distribution of ballot boxes for presidential election. Grace missing in replica of emblem, says opposition. Puri urges leader to have sense of proportion perspective. Is intimidating the judiciary, alleges Congress. Gehlot names in not required. Okay. Center has no new data on. This is very important. Keep up public building. Okay. Go first technician spreads. Okay. See, this is no not required. Railway to check call records of loco pilot. Okay. This is a good initiative. You must know this. That's it. May collaborate soon. Okay. May collaborate soon. When they will collaborate, we'll get to know. Defense Boris Johnson. Okay, Putin to head Tehran for Syria talks. Okay, US drone strike kills Islamic State. Okay. Now they are still killing people. Pentagon is still killing people, and they are saying other countries not to get involved in war. Then why are you involved in war? And why are you extending NATO? Why is this Russia shelling on Ukraine? Why are they all fighting? Can't they remain peaceful? All of them. Okay. How beautiful this looks. Image of Southern Ring Nebula from NASA James Webb Space Telescope. Deep into the universe. China search city over the COVID case. It would be great if we could travel this entire universe. It would have been a very good experience. Okay, industrial output jumps. Obviously, it should have. IIP logs faster growth. Okay, index of industrial production. Impact of inflation on India's poor negligible. No. This is not data driven. This is sentiment driven thing. Yes, the government welfare schemes have been effective, no doubt about that, but impact has been there. Yes. Obviously, impact has been there. You cannot just deny the fact. Okay. Fine, and we are on the sports page. Fine, so as usual, we won't have much news here regarding the examination. So let's go on to analyze the news. Okay. So obviously we didn't have any news here on these pages. Let's go on to the editorial directly. Okay, so this one we'll be doing first, smaller one. Rightful challenge. Twitter case should lead to change in IT rules that will protect free speech. Okay, by moving Karnataka High Court challenging several blocking order from Union government on content post on his website, Twitter Inc. has finally decided to take the bull by the horns on the issue of freedom of expression on online platform. Look, one thing is very clear here. They have moved to Karnataka High Court. Challenging what? Challenging Union government orders. Means High Court can entertain Union government orders as well within its jurisdiction, right? Okay, a cynical view will regard this as an action done under duress between February 2, 2021 and February 28, 2022 for a year. Twitter was issued direction to block 1474 accounts and 175 tweets in India, with the Ministry of MeToo suggesting in June that it was given the company a final opportunity to comply with the direction. But a substantive look at the challenge in the court by the company, 39 URLs in a specification suggested that Twitter is right to take up the gauntlet. Much of the content in this URL deemed to be fit for takedown, either journalistically or political nature, or even dissent. For example, some of the tweets were by farmers and others during their agitation against the farm law. Twitter is also accurate in suggesting that government has not compiled with the rule under the IT Act, which call for hearing the author of the content besides the intermediary before any takedown action. The provision of these rules was one of the key reasons why Supreme Court has upheld the constitutionality of 69A of IT Act in Shreya Singhal versus Union of India 2015 case, which empowers the government to restrict access to online content in interest of sovereignty and integrity of the country, security of the state, friendly relation with foreign state, or public order. It is quite clear that Union government has used public order and national security argument in blanket manner to get internet platforms such as Twitter to take down content or seek removal of profiles, even if it merely constituted political dissent and were remotely connected to the reason professed by it. The internet and telecommunication system has become an even greater behemoth than what it was when IT Act was formed in 2000. To expand the scope of regulation of the new form of intermediaries that has cropped up since then, the government most recently came up with IT Rules 2021, which beside bringing about obligations for accountability from social media companies and platforms, went on to add onerous requirements such as traceability of online conversation and new oversight functions that are weighted in government favor. Twitter's case in Karnataka High Court should lead to greater scrutiny of rules and to a clear legislative debate on how to remake them in a way that they do not impinge on the right of freedom of expression and privacy in online space. Yes. This is correct thing. This is a rightful challenge. Prima facie, it feels so that okay, Twitter has the right to go. Twitter Inc. has right to go to court. They went to court. Now we have to see what the court decide. Right. Create more job. Revamp employment policy. Government 10 lakh job creation plan does not appear to have factored the ground realities. Okay. So let's see. The government announced 10 lakh jobs in next 18 months. 40 lakh sanctions post, 22% are now vacant, and government will fill this post in 18 months. Okay, fine. Though the announcement has been called historic step in interest of youth and raising a new hope and confidence among youth by some of the government leaders, the plan has serious problems. So what are the challenges of the plan? Vacancies are much higher. The first question is, how is the government managing now in absence of more than fifth of the required number of staff? There are as many as 8.72 lakh positions that were vacant in various departments of central government, as told by Minister of State in Personal Public Grievances and Pension Jitendra Singh to Rajya Sabha. If various positions in public sector, banks, defense forces, police, health sector, central schools, central university, judiciary are added, then the number touches about 30 lakhs. The number does not include vacancies in state government job, as sanction post broadly indicate the required post needed to run a government. It appears that government is perhaps facing a serious shortage of staff, which is causing a long delay in work, corruption and maybe other inefficiencies. The government, however, has not made any complaints about such shortage in recent years. When it has made certain announcement, why then it has made such an announcement? It is because the government is concerned about youth employment, or is it because it wants to fill the required post, or is it because elections are due in number of states? So vacancies are higher than promised. Okay, 18 lakhs are promised and we have about 30 lakhs. So this is the gap that they are not filling up. Okay, quality is an issue. Another major concern is quality of employment that will be generated through the plan. The share of contract workers in total government employment has been increasing rapidly in recent year, from 11.11 lakh in 17 to 13.25 lakh in 20 and 24.31 lakh in 2021. In addition, there are honorary workers such as Anganwadi worker, their helper, Asha worker, etc. These employees of government earn lower salary and are not entitled to decent work condition, including a minimum package of social security. The government must ensure that employment generated under this plan is of a standard quality. There has been no assurance so far by the government. Okay, so two things are there. First is available job versus promised job. The second thing is the quality of the job promised. More jobs are needed. Total labor force in the country stands about 440 million. Okay, at a labor force participation rate of 42.1, means about 40%. The CMIE report, the unemployment rate of youth is about 20% at present. Backlog of 30 million unemployed people and an annual addition of 50 to 70 lakh workers every year, the dimension of India's unemployment problem today are formidable. The generation of mere 10 lakh job in 18 months is too little. Okay, I have given a wrong data here. They have promised 10 lakhs and we have provision for about 30 lakhs. The scheme of government will hardly provide any relief to the youth of the country and will not have much of impact on present unemployment problem. It is important to note here that performance of private sector in creating employment opportunity has remained dismal. This is also one of the reason why people are looking for government job, because private sector is not generating employment as it should have. Currently, when economy is still struggling to overcome the shocks of pandemic, when private final consumption expenditure has not crossed the pre-pandemic level, private firms are being seen to be managing their profit margin by cutting cost. In this situation, it is all the more important for government to ensure many jobs as possible. Okay, focus on basic needs. This approach was given by Professor Amartya Sen. Okay, government is mission mode to provide employment to unemployed and youth, and it will have much more time. Okay, to start with the government will have to create more employment within government. The recent national and international reports ranking have shown that India is lagging far behind most other countries in terms of health and nutrition. Obviously, yes, we are, particularly women and child education, literacy skill and holistic care of children in early and all those things, are sanitation etc. Actually, it is talking to SDG goals. Okay, SDG things. We believe that government will have to take responsibility for meeting these basic needs without depending on privatization, at least for the bottom 40% of the population. The first task for government would be to take much better direct case of basic well-being of human development and human resource development and the basic infrastructure of bottom population without privatization in this area. Another major task would also be to reorient the industrialization policy to focus on labor intensive sector of the economy and promote human development, human resource development, etc. etc. These are again SDG things. Another major task would be to reorient industrialization policy and focus on labor intensive sector of the economy, promote MSMEs. Why this is coming? This paragraph is coming because this has the capacity to generate employment. Okay, like we have sectors of textile, we have food processing, okay, we have footloose industries. These sectors will obviously provide for more employment and a better quality of employment. Okay, and informal production by ensuring better technology and higher productivity, providing finances. These are the external linkages, and pushing further cluster development and all those things. Urban employment, considering urban economy has still been badly hurt by the pandemic, a careful design of urban employment guarantee program would be most desirable to create ample urban employment avenues for urban youth. This program will have to be different from rural employment guarantee program. This has been in news for quite a long time, that urban employment should like we have this MG Narega, on similar line we must have this something for urban employment guarantee also. Okay, the urban program should include basic urban services where youth will get a special training so that they can absorb in the mainstream economy. Day care center to set up for child care so that women could work and ensure quality care for children, and infrastructural gap filled under the construction work to facilitate quality urban life. If the gesture of filling vacant post of government is part of a mission employment, it will have to be followed by radical changes government employment policy. Let's hope that people of India will be able to discern the motive behind the gesture and assess government performance accordingly. Okay, so 3-4 things it is saying. The paragraph make it very clear. First thing is vacancies available are more than what has been promised. Second thing, quality of jobs. Third thing, labor force entering people entering the labor force versus job creation. The fourth thing is basic need is not focused, means SDGs. Just deal these on SDGs, you will get very good points here. Okay, and fifth thing is urban employment. This has been in news for many time, this idea. Okay, I think economic survey will come up with some idea next year or next to next year. So you can write this in your answer, that will fetch you a lot of marks. Okay, so this is a good article, you can make note of it. Okay, let's move forward. There was nothing here on this page. Mediation bill. The bill recognizes that mediation has come of age and needs to be treated as profession. Okay, mediation. Okay, which huge improvement over the part-time honorarium basis it has cost annexed the mediation scheme. The governing mechanism, which is the council, has 3 members: retired senior judge, a person with experience of ADR, and an academic who has taught ADR. It does not even have one single mediator in the body. While government has called for comments on the draft bill, what is missing is the element of focused and engaged discussion after comments are sent. Okay, so this is also a very good point. See, even after comments are sent, then also there should be discussions. Okay, engaging discussions. Fine, that is missing. Give it a read. I think you will understand it very easily. It is not a big deal. It has been in news for quite some time now. And then we have this thing here. Okay, now center has no data on child labor. Let's see. The numbers drought arose after NCLP was merged with Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan in 2016. Okay, the center does not have any data on child labor in the country, and the reason for this is drying up of budgetary provision meant for NCLP, okay, National Child Labor Project, which has been monitoring the issue for about 3 decades. The Labor Ministry is learned to have told in the Parliament Standing Committee on Labor, headed by veteran BJD MP Mahtab ji, that since NCLP was merged with Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, the ministry has no record of child labor. The currently available data is 2011 census, which says country has more than 1 million child laborers. This is devastating for a country. Okay, last year panel has pulled up the center for lack of data on migrant worker. Okay, searching for proper data on child labor, the standing committee reached out 14 union ministry and department, including Home Ministry and all those ministry. Almost all the ministry have told us that they do not have any data. The Child Labor Ministry said that we have to wait till the next census to make an assessment of number. The NCLP for school child laborers worker for 3 to 4 years, and they have also more or less stopping functioning due to scarcity of fund. Education Ministry also does not have mechanism to find out the number of children engaged in child labor. Okay, this is a very serious situation. The member said, though we have legislation, Child Labor Act of 1986, the menace of child labor is continue to be unchecked. More than 1 million in 2011. It will increase by 2021. For 2021 census, it is going to increase. Why? Because the economy has been badly hit by pandemic, followed by that war, and all this populist policy of the government and opposition. Okay, nobody is concerned about the problems of the people. Nobody, and I can say it on record. Okay, none of them. All just talk about it so that their political agendas could be fulfilled, but nobody is actually concerned about anyone in the country. None of the political leaders that I read daily are concerned about the people. They are just concerned about their political ambitions. Okay, so let's move further. Okay, so on Tuesday, NGOs have appeared before the panel. NGO do not have proper assessment for this. The Home Ministry has earlier made detailed presentation. Okay, all these things. So you understand. So India is lacking data on 2 fronts. Okay, India lacks data on 2 fronts. What are those fronts? Migrant worker, and second thing is child labor. Now can you imagine, if we don't have data on this, how will we make data driven policy? Is this even possible? I don't think it is possible to make data driven policy. Then the policy will just be a tool to siphon fund. It won't be very effective. Okay, now let's move. I think there was one news and economy page, no? Yes, here it is. Impact of inflation on India's poor is negligible. I don't agree with this thing. India's poor are suffering due to inflation. This is the fact. Okay. FM cites UNDP report says is government officer. Yes, the government welfare scheme are obviously effective. Else many would have died in this pandemic, not due to that virus attack. They would have died due to a famine-like condition in the country. Okay. The impact of inflation on India poor would be negligible. Addressing the cost of, as per UNDP report on addressing the cost of living crisis in developing countries, which also looked at the ripple effect of Russia-Ukraine war such as energy and food market disruption. Cited UNDP conclusion in the report to emphasize that India's well-tailored program carried out over the past 2 years to support people and ensure they do not run the risk of slipping into poverty seem to have made an impact. Okay, give it a read. This is a kind of rose painting, okay, or painting rosy cozy picture, okay, but far from reality. You say that poor's inflation has been negligible. Your oil is costing, the petrol diesel is costing about 100 rupees. It is sometime more than this, sometime less than this. Let's take a very conservative stance on 100 rupees. Now fuel costs are about 100 rupees. Oil costs are increasing, okay, and your gas cylinder cost is increasing, and you are saying that it has negligible effect. Food price has been increasing. Your CPI inflation is about in April or in May, yes, April it was about 8% mark. In May it is about 7% mark. You have breached by 1% already. You have breached more than 1% here. Okay, your WPI in April was touching 12% or 12 to 14%, and so you are saying that it is negligible. It is just painting a rosy cozy picture, right? It is nothing else. So people cannot travel due to high fuel inflation. People cannot eat proper food due to high oil inflation. People cannot cook food because of high LPG inflation, and people do not have food to cook. Why? Because there is high food inflation. And you see, and the finance minister is saying what? That, oh my God, the impact of inflation on India poor is negligible because UNDP report says so. You have a population of 130 crore plus to feed, ma'am. Please don't say these things here and there. Don't make people fool, okay? You should not do this. Fine. So we are done with this thing. So before taking a part from you, let me urge you to subscribe the channel, like our content, comment, and share the work. Okay. So with this thing, I take a part from you. I bid a goodbye to you. Goodbye all. Good luck. Study hard and Jai Hind. So friends, I really hope that you like this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe our channel and share this video with your friend. Follow us on Telegram as well. Also, keep studying hard, keep following your dreams, and keep tuned to our channel. Comment below for any suggestion. Till then, goodbye, good luck, keep studying hard.